Hello everyone, this is Enzo Eigen, the Alliance for Loki, and this is part 2 of my Battleground strategy for this season. So this season is one of my favorite seasons ever. I really love the tactics. I know a lot of people don't, but for me they're just outstanding. I just make the game, they make you use different champions. They're pretty strong, and sometimes you can get away with playing around them and sometimes you can, so I just find them super interesting. Anyway, real quickly, if you're attacker, the tactic is if they're X Magicka, which is mostly mutant and mystic, then when you parry them, you get a prowess, or when you hit into their block. For the defensive tactic, it's mostly skill and cosmic, and every 20 seconds they get indestructible, or if you evade, dex, miss, they also get this indestructible buff. The tactic of the attacker allows you to basically one prowess nullifies one of the indestructibles. So hopefully if you're playing this, you know this already. So anyways, let's take a look at my deck first. And so I put a video out maybe a week ago when this first started with my tactic, and now I've sort of gone a little bit different. And so what I've tried to do is have lots of attacker tactics, get good defenders, but I haven't quite as focused on defenders as I did previous. It used to be my deck was almost all attack and defense focus. I really like the way they put the little insignia on there. But now I've tried to really add some like difficult defenders. And so like Iron Man Infinity War has been doing really well. Atuma, difficult defender. It may not be the greatest choice just because there's so many mutants in the game, but Ebony Maw, Red Skull, and Ant-Man. And so I've tried to have good non-tactic defenders. And I'm Mysterion 2 right now, pushing for Celestial. I don't know. I'm not very confident I'm going to make it. Celestial is about 300, over 300 points to get into that. And so let's see, Celestial 6. Let's just look at the very bottom. The very bottom is 321. So, there's Dylan from For Loki. Let's go, Dylan. So yeah, you have to put up a lot of points to get into Mysterium, and so that'll be a challenge. We'll see. But anyway, let's look at a couple of my recent matches. My streak has been okay. Since I adjusted my tactic, let's see how far back we can go. I had a terrible losing streak. This was sort of my terrible losing streak a few days ago. Loss, 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 and that was sort of like winning, winning, loss, 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 win, loss. But then I started picking up the wins. And now that I've adjusted my deck, you can see sort of my last 10 matches, I'm probably like 7-3, so it's pretty solid. And let's take a look at these matches. So against Bizel, you can see my tactic now is to, in this case, I just banned his most powerful champion. So I was really focused on banning their mutant attackers in my last strategy, but that sort of stopped working. And so now I just banned his most, his highest ranked champions that worried me. So those are all rank 3s. And you can see in the first round, and then you can see sort of my selections, like a good mix of attack tactics and defense. I'm always trying to make sure I have 3 tactic attackers. So in this case, I had Void, Wiccan, and Sunspot. And then I'm just trying to get the best defenders, including tactic ones. So round 1, he gave me Baron Zemo. Wiccan's a great counter for Baron Zemo. One is he puts on passives. He puts on that passive Incinerate, and then when you launch your SP2, it overwhelms his cleanses so you don't get rooted. So Wiccan's a very, very solid counter to him. I got hit once there I shouldn't have. And of course, Onslaught's just a menace on defense, and so that was a good victory. Round 2 was interesting. I find Void a pretty good Serpent counter. Serpent is tactic defender, so he's really difficult to deal with. I mean, he's a hard defender already. But then you can see my strategy. So I have Iron Man Infinity War in my deck, and here he's going to be a really difficult counter. And so that was a great match. And then before that, this was one of my favorite rounds. So again, if you look at the bans, so in this case I was banning mostly tactic defenders. I was trying to like get those out of there just so then it's sort of just like a basic deck against a basic deck, and with my power it gives me an advantage. Again, you can see I had 3 tactic attackers, Void, Domino, and Sunspot, and then I was just trying to find good defenders. Got double tech. Whew, he was not fortunate. He only pulled 1 Cosmic. Can't remember what was in his deck. And not really even an attacking Cosmic, the rank 3 Maestro, not known for his attack. And so right at the very end was my, I think, my last pool of Red Skull. So I was like, ooh, okay, I can sort of have good counters for him. And so you can see round 1. Actually did not play this particularly well. I totally got hit once when I should have. So I probably lost like 10% health from that. Probably could have finished with 95% health. So it's probably closer than it should have been. But anyway, again, Iron Man Infinity War, nasty defender. And, Maestro rank 3 did pretty well, but just basically eked out a win there. And then in round 2, same thing. So he'd given me Killmonger. Of course, I had the attack tactic, my rank 3 Domino. Again, I got hit in this, so this was probably closer than it should have been because probably, again, lost 10% from being hit. And he had to go against Red Skull. And Photon does a pretty good job against Red Skull, but he's still a good enough attacker. It took him 99 seconds just because, Red Skull slows the fight down so much. You can't hit into his block. It goes gets the auto block on, and so that alone basically is a 4,000 point difference, which made the match. And so really happy against that match. And then let's look at one more win, then we'll look at a loss. So this one, again, like my tactic was to this one I banned his attack tactor. So this was sort of the old method that I was using. First round, we both pulled bullseyes. Mine's a rank 3. He absolutely tanked this, which was fine because, I think I had a really good counter. I don't think he had any mutants. Is that true? Yeah, he didn't pull a single mutant. So yeah, he was in pretty difficult states straight there. I mean, bullseye, nasty defender, and with the tactic, crazy. And then in round 2, I had the perfect serpent counter, and he did not. So that was more just a lucky draw than anything else, which happens sometimes. Let's go look at one loss. This is actually, I think, a pretty good example of a good loss. Okay, so here I am. So I'm still using my old tactic where I'm trying to ban tactic attackers, so long shot and weapon X, and Hulkling just always seems to be giving me trouble. So I started banning him some. He bans my 3 most powerful defenders, basically. And the first match, yeah, I mean, Sunspot. Sunspot's great in this meta. I mean, he's great anyway, but just absolutely roasts Sasquatch. I think that's a rank 3 Sasquatch, if I remember right. Is that true? No, it's only rank 2. Never mind. And anyway, he does a pretty good job with Havoc. Havoc is a good counter for Thing, but I pull off the victory. Round 2 was very close. Man, Deathless Guillotine is putting in so much work in this meta. Cersei is a pretty difficult defender, and I have gotten many wins with her as a defense tactic defender, but here he absolutely dominates. So that was round 2. I can't remember. I think I played this pretty well with Kate Bishop, but probably about as good as I could have played. Maybe I got hit once when I should have. Yeah, I think I ate the second part of an SP2. Would have made a difference. He was much quicker than me, so 51,000. And then round 3, yeah, again, he had the perfect counter for my Kingpin. And I mean, Wiccan's good against Shuri, but slow. That's the difference. But another one where I think I got hit and maybe it would have made the difference. But anyway, this is sort of when I decided to change my strategy after going from the strategy of my last video to this new one. And so this new one has gotten me 2 wins in Mysterium, and so I think I'm going to stick with it. So basically trying to ban, just normal bans, ban their one champions I'm most worried about, have plenty of attack tactics in my deck, and then don't worry about defenders for the defensive tactic. Just choose sort of the best defenders, including some like good surprise defenders. Again, like Iron Man Infinity War, I feel like good surprise defender. He's hard to deal with. A Tuma, another one of those. So we'll see. We'll see if this strategy can get me to Celestial. What do we have? 3 days left, almost 4 days. 3 days, 22 hours and 40 minutes. It's been a fun season, and I've really enjoyed it, and we'll see where I end up. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it's helpful to you, and I'll see you again very soon in another one. Bye-bye.